So what do you think is more important in productivity, at least what you've observed is, do you think it's dealing with distractions, or do you think it's about in being intentional and focused? Where do you think it lies mostly with people?
I'm going to say neither. The big thing that I have discovered over the last couple of years in terms of productivity is health and wellness. If you're not taking care of yourself emotionally,
Mhm.
spiritually, physically, it's really difficult to be productive. And when I first stumbled
Mhm.
across this, I'm like,
Yeah,
what does health and wellness have to do with productivity? And I realized everything.
everything.
Because if you're 600 pounds overweight, you smoke 20 cartons of cigarettes a day, how can you be productive? You have no energy. If you're not sleeping well because you're staying up all hours of the night and doing all kinds of things with at least the drugs and what have you, you can't be productive. So I've been focusing the last year or so on getting your physical and emotional and spiritual health lined up. Because when you do that, then you can start working on, okay, I have distractions over here, or I have things I don't want to do over here. But if you're not in the right space, Tony Robbins calls it the right state, it's really difficult to be productive.
Yeah. Oh, I totally would agree. I mean, I bet we were just talking about this in the green room. I said, I'm still sick. We both took a sip of water to me. I'm like, hopefully I can make it through this. I've been sick for a couple months and it just keeps,
Mhm.
I have a petri dish grandson who keeps bringing it back and forth and back and forth. And he doesn't live here, but you would think he does. And yeah, it's affected the productivity. It's affected my thinking. It's just clouded sort of thinking. And I have to write everything down, which I didn't used to have to do. I could just do. So it's kind of interesting that that's happening. So when it comes to business, because this is business on the vine, right? These are some of the things that we're learning behind the scenes on how you've become successful, so that others can be successful in those varying areas. What do you recommend when someone feels that they're heading toward burnout, or they're lacking sleep, or they wake up panicked in the middle of the night going, I'm so exhausted? Because you're right. They don't say, I want to be more productive. They say, I can't do this anymore. What's the first step in modifying your health related to that?
It's a word that Congress doesn't know how to say, and that's the word no. We need to say, okay, you know what? I don't feel right today. I am not going to be able to serve my clients or my employer well today. So I'm going to say no to today. I am going to take today off. And this applies whether you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, you work in the corporate world. Maybe you just need to take the day off. Maybe you just need to binge watch Netflix all day. Maybe you need to go to a park and just watch the kids play. Maybe you just need to go hang out at Starbucks. But what happens is, what I see a lot of my clients is they're pushing the rope. They're like, I don't feel like doing it, but I still got to do it. Well, if
Mm-hmm.
you sprained your ankle, would you still go out and run the marathon? No, you take
Okay.
care of your ankle. And I think people have got to give themselves permission to say no and also
Mm-hmm.
have to give themselves grace. I am Mr. Productivity. I am not productive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have good days and bad days. And guess what? Spoiler alert, everybody does.
Right. That's right.
Anybody comes to me and says, I'm always productive. You're what's known as a liar because you're going to have bad days because you're a
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.